I know about Bob is he's incredibly respected in the car community. Everywhere I went when I first started this project, everyone was like, Bob Cooke, Bob Cooke. No, you got to see Bob Cooke's cars. No, you go see Bob Cooke. And I'm like, well, I don't know Bob, so I'm afraid to ask. So the first time I met him was in Hillsborough, and he was sitting down at a barbecue that they have there every Tuesday. And before I knew it, I was talking to Bob Cooke, and he's like, yeah, Bob Cooke. I was like, oh my goodness, awesome. And you got to check out the collection. As we're going to show you right now, there's a few cars that have won several awards. At least that one red car, a 69 Camaro. But it's got a 572 in it, so that's a pretty big one.
Someone's memory's coming back.
Yeah, my memory's coming back. Well, I got a passion for the cars, right? So I remember this stuff. First of all, thanks for the air conditioning. I didn't know you sold cars.
It's Eldorado sale. I sell cars, but this is most of my private collection.
Okay, yeah. I don't even really know where to start, but this is definitely going to be one of the coolest episodes we've ever done. I just need to calm down. This is very, very cool.
Why don't you ask him where you'd like to start?
Where would you like to start?
Well, we'll start with this Camaro here.
And yeah.
Hello.
This is amazing.
This is what I want to do with our floor.
You guys are in for a treat. What do you think?
Amazing.
What is it?
It's an Indian motorcycle.
You obviously know to be very careful. Yeah.
So the Camaro, 620 horsepower. That won the top award in Moncton Car Show. The next year it won Best Canadian in Moncton Show. I went to Montreal, won Best Canadian and Best Street Machine in Montreal and Best in Class. Then I went to Boston, won Best Canadian and Best Street Machine in Boston. It won Quebec City, won top awards in Quebec City.
It's not surprising, but...
And so what we had was a Northeastern Challenge. The ISCA put on that's International Car Show Judging. They put that on in 2016 anyway. These are some of the awards that won over here.
Oh, Team Camaro.
So won those 4 shows. The final was back in Moncton again. It was the top.
You swept everything.
Swept everything with it. And then I went to Detroit. Detroit, there's 1,000 cars.
Motor City.
I got second place in Detroit. I was on my way to Chicago for the finals. I would have got second place in Chicago. They guaranteed me that.
Yeah.
And I had infection in my foot. I had to come home.
Yeah.
So we sent the car home and I come back home.
Second place is probably subjective.
Oh, that's not bad.
You know what I mean? It's all preference, I think, maybe at that level. When you get to that top, everything is just
Well,
perfection.
the car that beat me in Detroit had over $1 million invested into it. So it was a 71 Cuda. The judges told me, this was the top ISCA judge, that the quality of this car was better than his.
Yep.
But he had so much more work done to it. You had to give it to him for points, so.
Maybe
You
it's
tied
fair,
for
I don't know.
first.
Well, they go by the amount of changes you do and then how well it's done.
Yeah.
And so that's what won it.
I guess you do got to give that guy credit for having $1 million put into it, though.
Well,
I mean-
and you know, and he had a supercharger, he had computerized dash, he had a $50,000 stereo system. This is more just old school.
Well, hold on. $50,000 stereo system?
But
Okay. Well, he gets a point or two there. So what exactly is this build?
street touring, 572 cubic inch.
So that's way bigger than, of course, the 427.
Yes,
So
same
with-
block, but it's bored stroke bigger. and
Bored
all
out,
that.
yeah.
That's a crate engine from GM. They sell that as a crate engine to go racing with.
I drove in the 427. That had a lot of power. So this has a 527? 572. In that little thing, it needs some big tires to stick to the ground, I would say. 69 is the most amazing year
That was-
for cars.
For 69 and 70, 71 they started to lower the compression and started going the other way with horsepower. 69, 70 is your two blasts of the best years. They
Went up, went up, went up, went up.
Yeah. This, you could get a 427 in it in 69 with 425, 435 horsepower. The Chevelle over here, I'll show you that after.
Oh,
That comes with 460 horsepower, the highest horsepower rated engine that GM sold. That one only comes with 390.
Got the horsepower though for its time. Besides the actual size of the engine, is there anything extra under the hood?
Just this radiator system and the belt drive. That belt drive system is over about $4,000.
Okay.
It's all billet, aluminum, cut out and CNC machine.
That is to cool the engine, or is
That's to
that
run all
built?
your belts, your pulleys and stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
When they assembled this car, all the underneath is just the same as the top. All wet sanded, buffed. They painted each spring individually, sanded it, buffed it, and polished it, and then assembled it. And
Every inch is painted.
the man hours on this is just phenomenal.
This must be not driven a lot.
I've put probably 200 miles on the car.
Okay, yeah. Because they literally, like, you could never ever find a piece of dust or a piece of wear and tear or anything, even the hosing. How long have you had this particular vehicle for? Because I know it's a 69, but we
yeah.
built it, right?
I've had it for, let me see, probably 5 years now.
Okay. Is she for sale?
It would be, yes.
I think he's on the fence with that one.
Well,
It won
put it
so
this
many
way.
awards.
For the right price.
I've showed it in pretty every local show. You either got two choices, put it on the road and drive it, or sell it in a different area where it hasn't been shown. It's a shame to drive this and chip the paint and do everything, all that to it.
Yeah.
It should go to a new area and be shown in a different area.
Until this moment, I was always of the mindset where I was like, well, if you got it, you should drive it. But apparently I never seen anything so beautiful and like perfect as this. Right now, I'm having the feeling that if I bought this, I'm not driving. There's no way am I driving this. I would drive it from the garage to the trailer.
Yeah.
So now I understand why they call them trailer babies, because you are right. It would be a shame to drive this.
When you get something this good, it's hard to drive it.
Yeah, it is hard to drive it.
And the minute you do, I put probably 150 miles on it.
Mm-hmm.
It cost me $10,000 to get it show-worthy again.
That's a cost you wouldn't think of, right? Safe to say that this is maybe your favorite car, or no?
I don't know my favorite, but it's probably my best, most valuable.
You got a lot of pride in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. If something like this were to sell, I'm just curious because I don't know prices of old cars.
To replace this car, you would spend close upwards of $400,000 to $500,000.
Yeah.
To sell it, you might get two out of it.
Really? So not much of an investment, but
No,
But
it's a labor of love.
yes, yeah. You got these right here. These are all this stuff came in. I would imagine that those are not the original disc brakes.
No. No, everything's aftermarket.
Yeah, everything's aftermarket.
Yeah.
Wow, 275s on the front. 275s on the front. That's great. What made you want this particular model?
Well, I didn't build this car. A friend of mine built it. And he was moving on, building another car. I had made him a deal. I traded him 2 or 3 pieces for it and all that stuff. So I get into it reasonably well. But still, it's an expensive piece. But the only reason I wanted it because of the quality of it. It is such a nice build. He had an interior package made here in Moncton. Spent $10,000 to do the interior.
The interior.
Okay, he started putting it in, didn't like it, loaded the car, trailered it to South Carolina, had a custom shop down there do this interior, $16,000 US.
Wow.
Do the interior. While he was there, they wanted to show it to a good guy show. Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay, yeah.
And he won an award for the car and the interior and stuff.
Again, not very surprising. Awesome, but not very surprising. So the interior, like you said, he did it all. He was like, not good enough.
Yeah.
Drove it down to the States,
Yeah.
down to North Carolina,
Yeah.
and spent another 16 grand on the interior, which is what most of everyone's car at home costs. But But see, it's not about the money, it's about
the quality.
Yes,
It's about
it's
the-
about the quality. What an immaculate interior. But it's so nice to see something so brand new from the 60s. The trunk. This... Oh yeah, it's very neat. There you go.
Oh, look. The only person I've ever seen with a proper fire extinguisher in their vehicle.
Yeah.
And so you should have one, especially in the old cars.
Oh, especially in one of these. It's just amazing that every single piece and every single inch and centimeter of this car is just immaculate. And it's a nice color too. It's not white. I don't even know what to call it. It just looks really
It's
good.
like a neutral color, yeah.
Khaki
Yeah.
The color
beige.
of the car is Boyd Coddington red.
Okay.
He's a famous car builder,
Yes.
so they named the paint after him, or he developed his own color.
Okay.
It's even deeper than the torch red Corvette, but it's close to that. I mean, he had his own TV show there for a while, building hot rod cars. So
Oh, I think I remember watching some of those.
this is the display rack we built when we took this on tour. We had this rack. This all comes apart.
So you would bring one car, or you would bring two?
Bring one on a turntable.
Okay.
The turntable's underneath the motorcycle.
Okay.
You load that goes in the center here. I got a 20 by 20 mat. The turntable set on the mat, got the arms in there for it with under the lights.
Anyone who's looking to get into the car show game, this is what you're up against, okay? You're gonna bring the whole stage. He's got the rotating car. He has everything. Look out. Oh, here we go.
1,000 cars in Detroit.
Yeah.
I think there was only 3 turntables.
And you knew those guys meant business.
These were the jackets we did when we were on tour.
Nice. Oh my goodness.
That's at the Expo City at Quebec.
There's the turntable.
So I think I got a movie out there. Turn?
Wow, that looks good up there like that. Amazing. Where's next? All right, past the cowboy. You got all kinds of cool stuff here.
Yeah.
Looks a little bit like you, actually.
John Wayne. This is a 62 Pontiac Grand Prix. I got that car in Michigan, and I got married in a 62 Pontiac, so I'm kind of looking for another one.
You're married in the 62 Pontiac. You got rid of it?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And then you wanted to find another one kind of like for nostalgia maybe, for memories?
Oh,
Okay. Yeah.
I got this.
The first thing, before you give us the spiel, I noticed the shifter.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's a nice touch, yeah. And all these buttons down below. Anyways, I'll let you give the spiel. I don't know what any of this stuff is for,
Well,
but
that was strobe lights and stuff. He had it geared up for being in a parade, and the lights all strobed, and cooling fan and all that stuff on it. So,
sorry, we're just going to reposition.
1962 Pontiac Grand Prix.
Is this something that was kept to an original now? I noticed that it's more looking of its time.
Yeah, it's pretty much, they come with the 8-bolt wheels. It's a special drum. They use them on NASCAR and stuff for brake cooling. This is actually your brake drum here, and your wheel bolts to that. It's finned so it displaces the heat better. It's got a 389 tri-power, 3 deuces on it. Those were the 3 things I really wanted, was the 389, the 3 deuces, and the 8-lug wheels when I'm looking for one.
And by 3 deuces, you mean the 3 intakes on the front?
That's 3 carburetors.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Ah, the fuzz bait.
That was on it when I got it. Very interesting though, years ago, we had a police chase, and it was a 64 Pontiac that the police chased. They rode off 4 police cars that night chasing the guy. A friend of mine was driving the police car that went in the ditch. I never got to show him that, but I want to show him this picture. We were chasing the Pontiac going upside down in the ditch.
It was almost like a good little game, I guess, to write off 4 police cars to go after them. Did they get them?
Oh yeah, in the end.
Okay. Yeah. He got it.
But this car come from Michigan. The guy never knew anything about that.
You know what I love about these old things is it's appealing to the eye. When I look under my hood, I love my car, but you don't see anything. You can't even reach
No,
anything.
it's all plastic.
Here is worker friendly. It's probably a pleasure to work on versus anything modern. I mean, not a pleasure in the fact that it's going to cost you a lot more and it's going to be way harder to find these parts. But if you look in here, it looks approachable. It looks non-threatening. It looks non-complicated. It makes me want to become a mechanic, actually. It really does. Under here we have how many horsepower?
345 I think it was.
For back in the day, like that, you know.
That would be, yeah, quite a bit.
One of my favorite things about these vehicles, I love how the line just comes Straight here, all the ways back. It looks so nice. It's some architecture now that you don't see, which you probably could incorporate, because I would imagine that that is not a problem when it comes to aerodynamics.
The creased fenders, that have to make them stronger too. Like
The old details here, hey?
yeah.
I mean, just every little detail. Things like this right here are just, like I said, the lines in the car, and it sticks out there too. It doesn't just look. That's amazing. Nowadays with these supercars, they think of every little detail, but they're too restricted by trying to outperform the next guy. All of these little odd and end things that used to make the car end up not going on these cars anymore because they're just restricted to science.
Yeah.
Why cars? Why?
Well, everybody has an addiction.
Yeah.
So mine's cars.
Yeah, I know, yeah. I think if more people were around the type of cars that we're seeing now, which is what we're trying to do, I think they will fall in love as well.
I think so, yeah.
Because, what's that?
It has an air conditioner.
Oh, we talked about this the other day, actually. Someone was trying to tell us that air conditioning came out, I think it was around in like the 40s. No one never put it in the cars.
In the 60s, you didn't need air here. We never got the hot weather we do today. This has got vintage air in it, like an aftermarket air, but the car did come equipped with air too.
So on the inside, I'm seeing a lot of gauges, a lot of fancy looking things here on the bottom.
Yeah, those are mostly light switches and fan switches. Then you get your gauges under the dash there. Now the tack on the console, that was factory gauge. I guess everything else is factory other than those 3 big gauges and the switch for lights there. And then
The heater actually looks like a little miniature radio.
yeah.
Where is the radio? Oh, right here in the center console.
Well, the radio, yeah, there, but they have one under the seat too. The new modern radio, with remote control under the seat.
Okay. Now this must be aftermarket, I'm sure.
Yes, it is.
Okay, yeah. A little personal flair. That's what these things are all about. I see there's a stereo system there that must be added as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, this beautiful detail here in the back. Now this must come down.
Yes, the armrest pops down there. This is the original interior in the car.
Wow. I'm become quite a fan of steering wheels. Grand Prix right in the center, deep down inside. That looks really cool.
This is a 2-door hardtop, and they had 2-door post cars too. The post stayed there.
The post would stay.
Yeah. But this is a hardtop. Just the windows go down, open the whole thing up.
Okay.
This one is a 63 old Starfire. Oldsmobile needed something to compete with the Grand Prix. The Starfire was their sport model they came out with to more or less compete with the Grand Prix in sales.
I noticed you have a love for these dice.
They try to keep it like in the 60s, everybody run those dice on the mirrors. This car has been frame off restoration. They had the body on rotisserie, did all the underneath the body. It's done similar to the Camaro, but with a lot less hours, you know.
You know what we need in cars? We need more carpet. There's a certain look about it, a certain comfort it brings.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel cheap. It feels like it was made to pamper you. And we also got to bring back colors and interiors. Like, oh my goodness gracious. Well, I don't understand why we can't get something nowadays with an interior like this.
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
You don't see nothing like that down in the cars today.
You always have to look this up if you want to get
The frame itself is powder coated underneath the car and all the rest of the car.
This thing looks a lot meaner than the other cars we've seen. What is this?
Put your snorkel for take your air in your air cleaner.
Okay. That doesn't have the normal filters here on the side like the other ones? So it comes in through here.
It goes in through there. That's behind the fan, so the fan pushes air into it.
So it's I guess it helps with a little bit more compression.
Yeah, it's an ultra high compression engine, which I think is 10.5 to 1, I believe. This is a 394.
I'll tell you what it is though, it's a really big one. It looks huge.
Yeah, they work pretty good. They did their 442 in the Cutlass model, which was more or less a sport model that competed with the Chevelle. This car made 370 horsepower. Now this is 72. Now, once they kind of went away from that, they wanted to get into a smaller car. Well, this is your mid-size car in the 70s. They had the big Oldsmobile and the Cutlass. So they did their 442 Cutlass model, which was more or less a sport model that competed with the Chevelle.
This is kind of the competition at the time.
Yeah.
I love how it says 442. There's something about numbers on cars I love, especially when they're this good. The exhaust, I'm sure, now that must be aftermarket exhaust.
That is aftermarket, but it's made to replicate the original, that's what the original looked like.
Wow, so they did have that big flare there.
Are you kidding me? They all have their own cigarette lighter in the back.
Let's check that out. For a girl who doesn't smoke, she was awfully intrigued with this. So what has she found
You have
over
an
here?
ashtray with your own cigarette lighter on
Oh.
both sides.
Wow.
Yeah, but there's never a lighter in the back. There's always one up front.
Yeah, there's a lighter in the back.
Oh yeah.
The old ones had lighters.
I love the metallic.
Yeah, the interior, that metallic flare, that little shimmer on it. Wow, look at that hole. So this would suck the air in or blow it out?
Well, sucks it in down through there, through the scoops in the hood. Pushes the air down through the...
Is there any particular reason why this looks like it would move?
It does. When under acceleration, that flap opens to let more air in. So when you're not accelerating it, it'll close up and just draws regular, normal air.
Or when you accelerate, of course, you get more boost. An early turbo, I guess. It's interesting, yeah.
Ram air, they call it.
Now look at this. This is a huge reoccurring theme. Another airplane. I'm assuming that's what it is. It looks like an airplane. The two wings here and the cockpit.
I don't know, that's your old little emblem, but
On the front, a lot of these cars, they have what looks like an airplane. And, oh, go ahead. Shh. He's a working man. Bob's working as we're bothering him here today. So we got to thank him for that. The chrome around the wheels, a very nice touch because it's followed by the paint job.
yeah,
Wow, those are cool on film.
what they call a rally wheel. The holes are in it to cool the brakes a little better.
Those are drum brakes in the back?
Yeah.
Albert County Hardware. This is your business truck.
My son run Ace Albert County Hardware.
Okay.
So when I did the truck, I kind of did a little promotion for him at the same time. Like we figured we'd put something that looked kind of bland with nothing on it. So I advertised his business with it. And
So if you are in Albert County, please stop by.
Buy some lumber.
Yeah.
Rapid delivery. Back to the car. This one you built from the ground up.
Yes.
It ended up costing you a few snowballs. First thing off, the wheels are huge. These look like 1920. So underneath the hood on this baby, oh, what is that?
That's another 572. This one here is 800 horsepower. Naturally aspirated.
Well, that's like a modern day Lamborghini.
Yeah, hence the rapid delivery.
Wow. Like, yeah, rapid delivery, I would say. What you have here is basically a naturally aspirated engine that really could be in a Lamborghini today. Like, you said almost 800 horsepower?
801.
801 dyno, like for real dyno at 801. Eat that Lamborghini. Right here, this could probably give you a run for your money. Now, the weight is obviously a little more than what the Lamborghini is,
A lot more weight.
but it would give you a run for your money. It started to snowball, and I can see why, because if you have this monster, this is something like, I'm just blown away with it. That engine alone, I'm assuming, was a very big cost. A digital GAL. So that's the computer, I guess, for the injection system.
No, it's
No, it's carburetor.
Yep.
Yeah, it's carburetor. So
But
that is
that's for the electronic ignition
Okay, 1957 Chevrolet
panel truck. Yeah.
with 801 horsepower.
Yeah.
Definitely not of the era, and it's got dual fans. Any particular reason why they chose dual fans over one giant fan?
I think it just draws more air.
The engine is so wide, you would kind of need...
This particular cooling system was built for that engine.
Moving on inside, we have a very, very comfortable, wow, very comfortable looking interior. Unbelievable. Yeah, there you go. I was going to ask, but I didn't want to. We're going to go in with the dash here. Yeah, I love these classic old school dashes. I wish they would make a few new cars
Yeah.
with an old school dash. You guys have literally done every detail here from scratch.
That was our mascot for the Albert County hardware store.
That's clearly you.
Yeah. A few years ago.
Yeah, clearly. That's what you needed to pull over an 801 horsepower engine right there with a pull cord. In there. Yeah. I see some designs here.
Hand painted, yeah.
Done by a local artist or
Yeah,
someone?
Brian Hanson.
Okay, yeah.
We put new strips in it and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, there we go.
That's the original hardwood floor.
Looks a nice color. It's a beautiful brown.
Like, it's all original panels. We didn't put any panels into it.
The little blue gem.
That's your 50s, 60s era stuff.
Okay.
Was there anything behind it, or?
No, you just put your brake light on. It flashes kind of a red-blue light off it.
Hey,
Try to put it right in the center of the dot.
eye-catching.
On all the models. We've seen them on so many models. I just thought maybe it comes standard on these models, but it's not.
No, just a 50s, 60s era deal.
Oh my goodness, that's big all the ways up.
Set of mufflers in there somewhere.
Yeah, oh boy. That's a thick pipe. And you would need it with all that exhaust coming out from 801 horsepower. One little last look at the business. Now, over here. We all know and have seen this car.
Carroll Shelby, 67 AC Cobra. This is a kit car they put together to replicate the Carroll Shelby's. He authorized the kits and all that stuff. A real Shelby starts at $1 million up.
trying to create his own car from scratch, as many people did back in the day. They started with a model and they had a dream and they wanted to bring it to production. Shelby actually did that. It was quite fast, but I don't think it has a terrible amount of horsepower.
Well, this got a 429 Super Cobra jet in it.
Okay, well this one has quite a bit of horsepower.
A
Yeah.
lot of them built them with 289s, maybe 300 horsepower.
That would be what you're more standard with, but of course, for Bob, it's gonna take it to the next level from what we've seen time and time again. Not much space. I would be surprised if anyone could even fit in there.
I can't fit in it. This is for sale because of the fact I can't drive it.
If you ever want to go for a rip, I'll take you.
For how cool it looks, I would make the sacrifice. However, would you want to drive this thing to Montreal?
Once you get in it and get comfortable, it wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah?
It's getting in and out. It's the hard part.
Yeah, it's even almost on like a little bit of an angle.
Mind if I take a seat?
Don't try it.
Mike, you're very lucky. You had the Guntas to ask for a seat. So let's see if Mike can fit. So as you can see, a bit of a task to get in, but
Oh man.
it's actually pretty comfortable.
Yeah, once you get in,
There you go.
what it should have is a stock car detachable wheel. So you take the wheel off, get in under it, and
Yes,
put the wheel on.
that is a very good
Or
idea.
at least a tilt wheel. It
You
doesn't.
can't move these seats at all.
No, the seats will go ahead and back.
Even though we didn't talk a lot about the Shelby, but I'll tell you, there's just too much to talk about. So now this is interesting. Right off the hop, the first thing we see is a dead giveaway is the 700 horsepower.
It's like Yenko edition GMC, isn't it?
So I've never actually heard of a Yenko.
Yenko built 25 of these. In 2018.
25.
Yeah, but I cloned this one. This is not a true Yenko.
Okay, I was gonna say, because if it was 25 guys, you're looking at something very, very special, which it still is.
It is,
Yeah.
yes. Well, there's probably one of one in the Atlantic Canada area. One made it to Montreal, the other 24 in the US. This is probably the only second one in Canada. They took a 6.2, stroked it and put a bigger supercharger on it. Put a LT4
Oh wow.
engine out of a Z06 Corvette in it. So it's 650 horsepower from General Motors. We underdrove the pulley and put a set of CNC heads on it. I should be making around 700.
And
This is your daily driver, I can tell, because it's warm.
I just had it out today.
if you really wanted to go crazy with this thing, put 2 turbos in, well, there's a spot for it.
Yeah.
I don't think you need 1,200 horsepower in this thing.
The hood off the diesel truck with a scoop in the front of it.
Why this over the other models? Just you love the rarity of the original, the 25 made?
Yeah, when I seen them, I kind of thought I'd like to have one.
I feel like we didn't spend a lot of time on this one, and it's too bad.
There's quite a few more to do.
Yeah, yeah.
This is the XLR-V, a Cadillac built on Corvette chassis, 4.4 supercharged engine. Cadillac came out with that. Corvette was trying to gain 1 horsepower per cc of displacement in the engine. Not very many of them in Canada. They built their ZR1 Corvette, had 6.2 liters, and they wanted to get over 620 horsepower. So they brought it in at 638 horsepower. This one, they wanted to stay under 1 liter per cc because they didn't want to compete with the Corvettes. So this is 4.4 liters and has 443 horsepower. That's awful lot.
Wow.
This has a retractable hardtop. Hardtop goes back into the.
Boy, you would feel quite cozy in there, wouldn't you? There's a lot more room than the Cobra.
Quite a bit.
I love the grill. The mesh grill.
Yeah, all of these had the mesh grill too. They
Actual mesh grill. Too.
Oh, for real
Not
mesh
the
grill.
Fake.
trademark of the V model. So this is another one here, the CTS-V. That one has 650 horsepower.
Okay, you can tell by the quadruple exhaust, the engine needs somewhere to go. The fact that this has the same engine as the truck, this thing is an absolute rocket. The seats are very, very cool. They almost look like racing seats.
Yeah, they are Ricardo racing seats.
Yeah.
First off, yeah. The seats are very, very cool. They have little bits of what seems to be chrome. And of course, the bits of trim on the seat match the bits of trim on the steering wheel, and the whole interior is nicely designed. And there's no screen popping up in the windshield. So that actually shines onto the windshield. And you chose the Michelin Pilot Super Sport industry standard. This much horsepower.
Don't cheap out on the tires.
The carbon fiber bits here as well. These are carbon fiber, guys. This is something maybe 20 years, we're going to look at and go, wow, I wish they made cars like that still. Yeah. You just bought this because you love the model? There's no like rarity to this one. I mean, it's not as common as most vehicles.
No, but they have discontinued this model. These are supposed to start holding their value or maybe going maybe up some.
Yeah, I could see this going to somewhat of a classic car.
Yeah.
In the future. Before we step in here, guys, I can tell you what I'm seeing, and that's a whole lot of Corvette. You stay with me.
You see how he's
Look at this. Bob, thank you. If it weren't for people like Bob, the show wouldn't exist. You wouldn't be seeing half of these cars. We've seen this one at the show. We're just going to give a quick little drive around here because, yeah, we got this one.
This is 71. I bought this car in 75. Had it for 6 years, I believe.
Looks like you bought it yesterday. You know what a Vit? Why? I'm from Newfoundland, right?
Yeah.
The buddy wants his name and the other fellas. Yeah, this is it. It's the one they put in Skidoo.
Yes.
In the Yami.
454.
Yeah, that's the one they put in the Yami by. From oldest to newest, correct?
Yes. That's a C2. This is C3. This is C5, and that's a C7.
Are we getting a C8?
I have one.
What was that?
I have a new Zora on order.
Oh, wow.
The big one, the 1,000 horsepower.
Oh, wow. Oh, boy. It's going to take 2 years to get that car?
It's going to be that long before they build it. I bought the first Z06, and then I bought this car from a dealer in Tennessee. I have my name in with him for the first Zora that comes in.
This is the next level of buying a car.
super exclusive.
Yeah, it seems to be.
They have no idea when it's going to be built. The minute GM decides to build it, the dealer will get allocation. As soon as he gets allocation, he'll call me.
This here is a beautiful car. No disrespect to the C8, but I just love the curves and shape of this one. Even here on the bottom.
This car is top of the line C7. What we're seeing in the C8s is basically entry-level C8s. They've got 2 or 3 more models before they can even compete with this car. The Zora is a step above this. They'll have a Z06, a Grand Sport, and then they're coming out with an electric one before they come with the Zora. Same as this, been in the works for 3 or 4 years. 2 of those in Atlantic Canada. This one and a Cooke. That's the only convertible.
Comparable to, I'm not joking, a Lambo or Ferrari or any of those high-end versus this, I don't know, man. This here is a great looking vehicle.
Now, is it the hood open front or back? Forward.
One problem with C8s, the hood opens back and they don't have a manual safety latch on it. It has a double electric latch. 4 or 5 now have flown up, wraps over the windshield. About a $5,000-6,000 fix.
Really nice auto.
This is what they call a Sebring orange package. It had every option you could get on it.
Okay, the carbon fiber top.
Supercharger underneath. This has 755 horsepower.
You can't see much in there, hey?
This is the most powerful engine that GM has ever developed to date.
This is probably one of the coolest features of the car that I just noticed right now. Look,
Suede.
that actually looked like it was the hood. When he brought this up and there's a hole, we can see Bob right through it. That's really cool. That actually looks like it was incorporated into the hood. That's one of the greatest design things I've ever seen on a vehicle.
This car wasn't allowed to be sold in Europe because the air cleaner was an inch too high.
It's all about the finite details. You can see there's a slight blue on the other edge of the black. And then, of course, the one on the end is a nice blue as well. But it's just this finite details up against that orange. And absolutely no disrespect. Can we take out the handicap sign?
Oh, yeah.
Just because, you know, we'll see it in the photos. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but everyone's going to look at that in the photo, you know? This is the first thing they're going to see.
Yeah, they get pissed off and parking, disabled parking with this. So.
Yeah. How disabled can he be if he's driving this? Well, it is
What is a race
right?
car?
Pretty much are. It's faster than most stock cars. NASCARs only have 700 horsepower. I went to Spring Mountain, their Ron Fellows race school, and drove one of these for 2 days on the racetrack. Their car, not mine.
That must have been fun.
That was
Do you know how fast this one goes?
214 mile an hour it was rated for.
214 mile an hour. That's a good go.
I bet it was 182.
182? 182 miles? Woo! On a track, of course. Of course. Hey, Bob. Can I ride with you to the 30-second ride right to the road. Oh, I feel like a man just getting in this thing. Wow. Thanks, Bob. Bob's the best. Absolute amazing. He's made me, like, he's opened up so many opportunities for me this season. It's crazy. Oh, oh.
Stay in, I'll take you to drive up the road.
Oh, sweet. All right. All right. Yeah, she's low. She's low. Holy cow! Holy cow, that's amazing! Wow, Bob! You were the man! Oh my god! That thing was just whoosh, 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 whoosh. Oh, Bob, you're loving it. I bet you love my reaction. Oh my god. And he just made everybody's day back there too, I'll tell you. Oh my god. Wow, that was enough for me. Like, I could have went on a 1 hour drive, but the 2.5 seconds was just unbelievable. Oh, Bob. Oh man, you're so cool, dude. I can walk back.
That's okay.
Okay. We probably just burned about 12 kilometers worth of fuel. Man, oh man. But you know what? It felt like, even though it felt like you were so in control, like it was amazing. But the sound, man, the sound was so crazy. Oh, oh, it's got the cracks. This thing, oh yeah. Oh wow. I know, okay, listen, I know I'm saying a lot of oh wows and a lot of oh yeahs and a lot of amazings, but you know what? I just don't really know what to say. Wow, Bob, so you said you got another one coming in 3 years,
yeah,
or something like that.
When the C8 comes out with the big horsepower, I got mine coming.
Wow. I don't even know, geez, more horsepower. They can't have more than this. It's 755.
It's supposed to be 1,000.
Supposed to be 1,000? Well, stay tuned. All right, Bob, man. Thanks so much, dude. That's amazing.
No problem.
I gotta try to figure out, oh, there it is. I know how to get out of these futuristic ones now. The little button. Ah, see? I'm getting it. And out.
Okay. See you later.
See you later. Anyone who knows me knows that when I see an SS, no matter what, I get excited. There's something about how that looks, okay? That SS on there, of course this is followed by a 454, but that SS, when I see that, I go wild. This is the Chevelle. Yes, yes. So tell us about the Chevelle Super Sport 454.
This is my first car that I bought and kept.
The one that started it all.
I bought this in 74, in the first car show in 75. I had it in the 30th anniversary show, the 40th anniversary show, the 45th anniversary show of Speed Sport. It'll probably be in the 50th.
I would say it's going to be, yeah.
I painted this car a month after I bought it. That's the same paint that's on it. Frank Appleby did this. He's the guy I bought that 71 Corvette from.
Oh.
He was a body man and a Corvette enthusiast in the day. He painted this one, and the next year I bought that Corvette from him. The pinstripe was done by Warren Shellett. Smokey was his nickname.
Okay.
Back in 75, 76, he did this. There ever since. That was kind of the era of pinstriping in the early 70s. It went away from it. Now it's coming back again. It was originally bought with a 390 horse. Had a 460 in it for a few years. It went back to a 390. When I bought it, it had a 390 horse in it. Now it has a 502 crate motor dropped in it. But I have an original motor in the shop with 610 horse to put back into it.
It's not a 454 right now.
No, it's 502 right now.
502. Oh, even bigger, even badder. But he's going back to the original. Any reason why the engine's just got a better reputation, maybe, or you just?
Well, the rest of the car is pretty much original, so I want to put an original engine in instead of the crate motor.
Is this the intake? Oh, I
That's-
noticed.
yeah,
It looks
that's-
like it swivels.
Cowl induction is vacuum operated. When you're driving that down, when you hit wide open, that'll come up and let the air flow through.
Oh, that's cool. Is that something that was originally on the car?
Originally on the car, yeah.
And look at these windshield wipers.
Stainless steel. Right?
Yeah, it's stainless steel. The interior, of course, it's got the big pull handle there. So this is not your first car. This is the first car you bought in the collector's
Yeah.
world. Okay.
Yeah.
This is not original.
Those are original, just sent away and chromed.
Just a cool car driving this down the street. Just imagine. It's even back in the day. This would be so cool. Beautiful car. So yeah, this is, let's move on to the next one.
I'm gonna go help this little guy.
Yeah, he's so confused. Can't figure that out, eh? Meanwhile, look, the bird's over there, stuck in the window. But meanwhile, the garage door is completely open. I love the dash on this one because it has the Chevy signs.
That's built on a C5 Corvette chassis. Took all the undercarriage out of a C5, built a new frame, and set this car down on top of it.
Oh, wow.
So it has a rear-mounted transaxle. It's like a Lamborghini or whatever, Jaguar. The transmission and transaxles in the back.
Okay.
The torque tube running to the front. Has a small engine in there.
Oh, wow, this is cool. Whoa. Okay. Oh, okay. So, small engine in there, yeah, small engine. And then we come over here, and of course, we see a big 572. 55 orange. And this one is... Oh, he's coming. Oh, now he's under the car. I mean, little birdie. The door's right there.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
What's the approximate horsepower on this completely unnecessary huge engine in the Bel Air?
620.
620 horsepower Bel Air, guys. Wow. This thing is an absolute monster. Do you bring her out much?
I had to show the other night. You guys walked right by.
Yeah, I
it.
took pictures of it.
There's so much to see at these shows, and at the time we didn't know who you were, and here we are today. Lots of safety 23s. What's that? It's just a vehicle inspection for America or something?
Yeah, it's a NSRA, National Street Rod Association, I think it is.
We all know about the Atlantic Nationals.
Yeah.
What is it?
Look at all the seat controls.
The interior is out of a 91 Pontiac SSEI. That's the seats, and we had them all reupholstered. The back ones, we had to cut them down, refabricate them, make them work. And
So this one does have the posts.
back windows go down, but you need the post in the center. I particularly picked that model because I was putting that kind of horsepower into it. And a hardtop with flex,
If you ever did topple over.
almost like a built-in roll bar.
Oh wow, she's low too. You must have this lowered.
Well, it's all, like you say, Corvette suspension, so it's lowered down.
Yeah, okay. With this Corvette suspension, it just is lower, period.
That's low, yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. One big difference with this model and the other 55, full seat all the ways across, whereas these
They
are...
never had bucket seats in a 55, and any that put them in were manufactured, made after. This whole interior is all custom.
It
Yeah,
does.
that's is missing. Is the airplane on the hood?
Yeah, no, I took that off.
Why did you take the airplane on the hood off?
Well, to smooth it out some.
And of course, with that much horsepower, you probably would recommend low-profile tires, I would say. Well, see, when you got that much horsepower in the car,
I think I must have
Everything falls out.
yeah,
stepped on it a little bit when I left the show.
yeah. No, I've been asking people this question. Any particular preference to mothers over Maguires?
The reason I have mothers, they sponsor all of our car shows.
And mothers know best.
Yeah,
No.
basically, most of that stuff free.
Oh, cool.
That's the batteries under there.
Oh, the battery's under there. So the battery is in the trunk?
We didn't have enough room, we moved it back. It's also good for weight.
You didn't have enough room because you went and put a 572 in it. If you like what you're seeing, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Let's support your local car communities. Don't forget to go out and hunt. Don't forget to find these amazing things and share it with the world, the same as what we're doing here today.
Do you want to go see the lower garage?
Do I want to go see the lower garage? Of course I do, if you have time. If you have time. Oh, this is amazing. First we've seen the first garage, then the second one, then the third one, and then this the fourth one, and so we're going to see the fifth one. A former police officer, did I tell you this on the phone already?
No?
Mark Gogan, he has a 73 Mach 1 and he's a retired police officer.
Yeah.
So we roll up with the cameras rolling, which why today we didn't really roll them. And first thing I said when I came in today was like, we have the cameras rolling. Is that okay? He said, are the cameras on? We said, yeah. Yeah. Turn them off. Right stern, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, what's going on? You guys here to steal my car? He's like, are you here to scope the place out? I was not prepared for it. I was just blown away. When he ends up chuckling a little bit, no, he said, I got guys run your plate already. It's like, I know you guys are good. We're about to put Melissa in for a drive with Bob. Yeah. So she's going to drive. So what's the model of this?
John Deere Gator.
John Deere Gator.
This is the military version.
How was riding the Gator?
Excellent. Nice and smooth.
Sorry. Wow, so in here, we have a guitar. Do you play guitar?
No,
Okay.
I collect anything.
Oh, look at that thing.
It's a 1930 Essex. It became Hudson, but Hudson bought them out later in the years. Street ride has an Armstrong Brothers engine in it. 302 Ford, paddle shift transmission, 9-inch Ford rear end, the upholstery. That's part of it, I guess. Down the valley, did the upholstery in it.
Super
All lambskin,
professional.
real leather.
You say lamb?
Lambskin, yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, excellent.
Softest leather.
Over 30 grand on the upholstery.
$30,000 on the upholstery. Look at the dash. And that's color coded. We got the dash. Steering wheel. Wow. I'm a little surprised that this would only cost $50,000.
The guy that built this spent $125,000 building it.
Okay, well, yeah, all right. Yeah, well, all the more. So 50,000 seems to be one good deal.
Yeah, it would be if that's what you wanted and wanted to build one, you couldn't build it for nowhere close to that. It is a very good driver. I drove the thing from Truro home, 100 mile an hour on the highway.
I love the step up.
You put in power windows?
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome.
This fender used to come and just kind of go down.
Straight drop, straight down.
Yeah, and of course this right here, guys, used to go down, and he's added this flare on the back. And what I'm assuming right here is the gasoline.
Yes.
Yeah, and the gasoline is right there. Where is it?
Get in, sit down, shut up, and hold on.
Yeah, I would say. This is a good driver, and for something from the 30s, the fact that you guys turned this into something drivable is impressive. Yeah. And if you want it, it's only 50 grand.
That's right.
And that might seem like a lot to a few people that are watching the show, but
A few people, it's not much money.
and you could never make it for that. 50 grand, like you said, 120 into it. If you're ever in the market, Bob's the guy to talk to.
This one here is another one I had. Had the old car, and I thought, well, I gotta do something with it. It cost a lot to make a show car out of it, so I decided to just do it with the old 60 style gasser. Even at that, it costs a lot.
You said it costs a lot to make a show car.
Yeah.
You're trying to tell me that this is substantially less
Oh yeah.
than making a show car. Oh my goodness, because guys, I mean,
Still expensive, but a lot less than.
yeah, wow, but look at this thing, it's so crazy. This is the exhaust.
Electric switch on it, opens the header straight through.
Yeah.
Or shoved off and brings it out the side.
Cops come by, you hit the switch.
That's all hand painted, that is.
Class of 56. And of course, Woody Woodpecker.
Yeah.
Boy, I used to love
That's
that
not a
cartoon.
decal.
There's a certain art about it. I never really clued into what this was until just now when I actually did see that it's a Bel Air. This does not look like a Bel Air, holy cow. Just seeing it at this height, it looks like a truck, but it's not. I never would have thought it would be.
Sedan delivery, a station wagon with no rear doors or windows.
So it is different than the normal Bel Air.
Yeah.
Oh, this is your business. How much horsepower in this one? Did you do much to the inside?
Just a 350,
Okay,
turbo 400.
just for the look, but it does look really cool.
354, bro. Probably 300 horsepower, 325
It's
horsepower.
more than enough.
Yeah,
That's for
enough.
sure, yeah.
Yeah. That's a 77 Cadillac.
Hmm.
Coupe de Ville. That was an estate vehicle, it was one owner vehicle, with 80,000 miles on it.
80,000 miles, hey, original engine or?
Oh yeah. I have the original wheels and tires, but the tires were weather checked, so I put these on it.
Was it a normal car or was this a higher end car?
That would be a higher end.
Okay.
Cooke back in '77, that'd be quite a car.
What's the price tag on this one?
12,000, I think, something like that.
There is an option for people getting into this game.
Oh yeah, to get in on a pretty light budget.
I mean, if that thing at that condition is 12 grand, then you can get something that's a little bit less and eventually get that thing you truly dreamed of.
So this one is a '87 Cadillac Alante.
Starting to look a little more modern now.
And that was the first year they came out with the Alante. The body was made in Italy and flown to the US in a jumbo jet. And then they put the powertrain in the US and sold them here. Aluminum body, not metal.
They flew this over in a jumbo jet. I'm assuming they brought over quite a few.
Oh, they would have, yeah.
Not financially feasible nowadays, I don't
That
think.
car was $80,000 in '87. It was the most expensive GM they sold.
For 87?
That's a lot of money in
That's a
'87.
lot of money. It's a beautiful car, but wow, I wasn't expecting that price.
The XLR is what superseded this model. When they finished this model in '93, they didn't build another one until 2004. That's when they came out with the XLR. Went to 2006 before they got to the XLR-V model with Superzero.
We're back into the 80s now, so are we pulling horsepower now? Are we starting to come back?
This was 170 horsepower. Now this one here, that's an '87 Buick Grand National. V6 turbocharged, that was their introduction in the turbocharged market. That was 245 horsepower. Actually, the fastest production car built in '87. I bought this car new.
Starting to get into this tech talk.
That was where they started, back in the technology again.
Yes, yes. 3.8 liter SFI turbo. We'll notice like over the years, it's amazing what they can get with the amount of displacement now compared to what they could get over time. The turbo embroidered here into the seats, which is a nice detail. It really screams the era, the color code of the time.
Yeah.
It gives you a good feeling of what it would be like to just be in the world at that time. Oh, there's the Alchemist. This is an SS, so let's come around here and look at the SS. It's got that beautiful SS look to it.
This is a frame-off restoration. It was done on a rotisserie, and the underneath the car is done, all base coat, clear coat. It's not done to the quality of the Camaro, but it's done, better than original type of thing. Frame was all powder coated.
So do people actually use the El Camino for its purpose?
Originally, a lot of them did, yes.
You've seen a lot of people with like 2x4s and stuff in it.
A lot of them had caps that were designed to come right to the roof of the car and go back, and this one has never been used. You can tell that this truck actually came from California. In the box there, it's like brand new.
I kind of wish they still made them.
Yeah, they're a fun vehicle to drive. They're built on a station wagon chassis, so they're longer wheelbase.
I think if this car came around nowadays, how many times have we all been stuck needing a box but didn't want a truck? Now, do we have the original engine in here?
No, that's a 502.
Okay, yeah. That seems to be a reoccurring theme. Are you going to spin the tires? Are you going to do donuts with it? Well, yeah, you could, but
Most don't.
most don't.
It has 373 gears and has a gear vendor overdrive in it.
Okay.
So you can flip your gear vendor and run it with 308 gears, good gas mileage, low RPM, cruising on the highway. Or if you wanted to tow something, you just leave your gear vendor in low range. And
I noticed that most of your cars, you pop your hood from underneath your bumper.
yeah, through this era, they all had outside latches.
Outside
And then
latches?
I think through later in the 70s, they went mostly to inside.
Okay.
Maybe a Model A?
That would be a Model
Model
A.
A.
31 Ford. This is pretty much original.
This is the car. This is, well, not the original, but it is the start of what was something very special. I noticed there's 2 spare tires.
A lot of them only had one. It was an option to have the 2 spares.
It's even got the seat in the back for the kids.
So he's got one of those intact. We've been waiting to see this because we have not seen a Model A that has actually popped open with the seat in the back. This is the best thing of all. For all you parents out there, if you're a little bit annoyed by the kids, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Okay, well, this is the perfect model. Come on down and see Bob, purchase this Model A, and you can put your kids in the back. You don't have to hear them, and the bugs can come in their face, and they can enjoy that on the highway. And when they're done, they can fully appreciate the destination. Most of the time, you'll see this back not on the vehicle, or the people have the seat taken out, or just it's not there at all. And on the back here, we have this beautiful wood paneling.
Step stool.
Is that what it is? It is. It's a step stool. The only thing I want to point out too is the spoke design. The spoke design is beautiful. I'm not sure if that's the original color, but it's the color that I think looks the best. And this right here is for the gasoline. I think this is the oldest car you have in your collection.
Way down.
How long have you had the oldest car you have in your collection?
Oh, only hit that about 3 years.
Because of why? Was it hard to find? Was it something that you just weren't interested in until recently?
No, a friend of mine had it for sale. I negotiated a deal for another friend and they were on the fence. I said, hell with it, I'll take it.
I don't know if you were saving this one for last, but
No,
this looks something special.
Yeah, it's quite special.
Yeah, and first of all, the paint job
Flames.
on, you can barely see them, but Mel will get it on film. But those flames are great. They're so lightly done.
I got this from the same guy I got that 62 Pontiac from.
I'm already can tell by all the vents in the hood. That I'm guessing, like Bob is famous for. I'm finding out. This is a 502. Yeah, it probably needed a bit of vent space. Yeah, even though it's covered up now with
You
this.
take that out when you're driving.
Okay, you
That's
would.
just for show, yeah.
We're back into, there's so many different kinds. This is still a carburetor, yes?
No, that's fuel injected.
So now we're into, wow, so okay. So this shouldn't originally have a fuel injected engine.
No.
This is producing the whopping amount of power, I'm
That's
sure.
probably about 520, I think this would be.
In a car that originally is supposed to have maybe
245 maybe.
245? Even then, that's a
No, it
lot.
wouldn't be that, it'd be 180 probably.
Yeah, okay, 180. Once again, stepping it up a notch. I'm loving the front here. If you'll notice, it's got little gold details here. Grille is actually also that same kind of color as well. And it just goes so nice with the chrome and even the headlights and the whole design and color pattern. I find it fits together really well. And another detail I find really cool is it's got these big airplane style caps here and then follows here with these little tiny miniature ones that really bring that look together. And it's hella shiny.
Interior in that sort of a 65 Impala SS.
65 Impala SS interior. That steering column is big and it is beautiful. And of course, one of my favorite things that I wish they really would bring back, the wooden steering wheel. The most elegant things that they could put on vehicles back in the day was the wooden steering wheel. There's place for wood in a car, I'm telling you. Of course, we got the dice. Coming around the back, we have the gold trim. I noticed there's some artwork on the back here.
This was done when I got it. A&W type style deal there.
Yeah, that's what I love. It really feels the era. I love these kind of things that you see. It tells a story. If you were ever to describe this era, I would say it would be indeed the fast food girl coming to the vehicle outside the fast food restaurant. I mean, there's more to tell to that era than that, but if you were to put a picture on it, that would be the perfect one. You're gonna see lots more of this stuff over here and these beautiful, oversized, oh my gosh, crazy 502s and stuff like that in future episodes. Oh, I'm not gonna drive anything today because Bob has been very gracious with his time. He's kept us here like the whole day. I owe him so much. Instead of driving, check this out. You're not even allowed to touch these things. And I failed because I was too cautious.
Yep.
Okay, so
I'll just push it down.
just push it down?
Yep.
Oh no. Even that felt nerve-edging. I think we've kept Bob long enough. I'm sure he's just being polite, so thank you very much for having us. All right, man, cheers. Oh, you're the best, dude.
Yes, of course.
Awesome. Guys, that was literally the best episode I could ever imagine. Unbelievable how many automobiles this guy owns. You hit that subscribe button. Oh my God.
Yeah, do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Do it. Click the subscribe.
Do it.
See you later, Bob. Another friend, another day.
Everybody has an addiction.
Yeah.
So mine's cars.
Okay, we're good. Yeah,
Here,
sure.
I got that from a guy who was 82 when I got it from him. I drove it the first 2 or 3 years. I had to take it for a drive every year.
Is it a 79 1200?
76.
76.
He lived down in Florida when he bought it. He bought the bike in Florida.
Okay.
And he bought it up in 08. I think I bought it around 210. So it would be, I've had it for like 10 years.
What I noticed more than any other model
The
is
seat.
the size of the seat.
The saddle's huge.
Yeah, it's like a saddle. You're right.
Yeah.
It's pretty much like a saddle.
Well, you know that's what they're called, eh?
Saddle seat, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that makes very much sense. And this couch you made here as well?
That I had made to match the back end of the 55 there.
And is that an actual back end of the 55 as well?
Actual back end, to cut the back end off the car, put the same chrome, same tail lights and all this stuff in it to make it match.
They should make drive-in theaters, except no cars, and just have seats like that.
There's a movie theaters in the States, it's called Chunkies, and what they do is they take the seats out of the cars itself.
That's a picture of that 70 Chevelle in the car show in 77.
Oh, wow. I love that. Bob was always a showman. Look, he's got the lights there. I bet you half the fellas who showed up didn't have that kind of setup. No disrespect. Wow. And of course, here's all the awards for Team Camaro.
Yeah.
He put them up, but there's too many. Yeah.
Bottles in here too. John Wayne invested in a distillery.
That's something I have never seen before, let alone heard of.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I'm assuming you're not going to crack that one anytime soon.
Iron Works distillery out of Nova Scotia. And this here's that chicken bones stuff they had there last Christmas. Couldn't get it anywhere. And they sold out the minute they made it.
Oh, cool.
Partnered with the Guidons and erratic.
How did you become this successful? The person that you are today, how did you get this going? What came about? Did you own businesses? What did you do?
I own several businesses and bought and sold land and
Okay.
stuff, and apartments and commercial properties and stuff like that.
So you worked really hard.
Yeah, quite.